What is up, guys? I am the one and only Eagle Double T, and in this video, I'm going to be comparing the Nintendo GameCube controller to the Wii U Pro controller. So without further ado, let's begin. Now let's talk about the differences between these controllers. Now the shape is very different between these controllers. The GameCube controller is sort of like one big rounded handle. Except it has like a D-pad and a joystick that kind of stick out. It takes a very odd shape, while the Wii U Pro controller takes a much more basic standard shape, like an Xbox 360 controller. Another difference is that the Wii U Pro controller is wireless. They did release a Wavebird controller, but it was wireless. But we're just going to keep it strictly between the GameCube, the regular GameCube controller, and the Wii U Pro controller. The Wii U Pro controller is rechargeable through mini USB with an 80-hour battery life, which is just insane. The button layout is also different. The GameCube controller has an Xbox 360 style button layout, or an Xbox button layout in general, with a joystick and buttons on the top of the controller, and then a D-pad and a second joystick below them. When on the Wii U Pro controller, it has two symmetrical joysticks on the top of the controller, and then underneath of them it has the buttons and the D-pad. And also the Wii U Pro controller has very, very different triggers. They're pretty clicky, while the GameCube controller has these really odd triggers that my finger fits inside very, very well, and it's great for games like Metroid Prime, but when it comes to first-person shooters, it's really not that good, while it is on the Wii U Pro controller. Also, the GameCube controller only has one bumper, and it really isn't that good. But on the Wii U Pro controller, it has two. Also, the GameCube controller has a start and pause button in the middle, while on the Wii U Pro controller, it has a select, start, power, and home button. Now, comfort of these controllers is subjective to your hand size and your opinion, but for me personally, I think the GameCube controller is more comfortable, and I like the way that my hands cup around the controller. It's very nice to hold. However, the Wii U Pro controller, it is extremely comfortable, but I can still use it for a more extended amount of time before my hands begin to cramp up, which almost never happens with this controller or this controller, but I can still use the Wii U Pro controller for a more extended amount of time. Now let's take a look at the buttons and, the joysticks and everything. Now, the GameCube controller has this very, very nice top joystick. It's very grippy and responsive. However, it doesn't click in and act as a button, which the PS2 controller and Xbox controller at the time did have. On the Wii U Pro controller, it has does have the button joystick, and I think my finger stays on just a little bit better with the Wii U Pro controller. And also, it's extremely smooth, so I like the joysticks on the Wii U Pro controller. The GameCube controller's second joystick is a little C-stick, which I do really like, personally. The button layouts of the actual buttons are quite different. The GameCube controller has a A button in the middle, and then around it is the B button, Y, and X buttons, while on the Wii U Pro controller, it's just a standard A, B, X, Y button layout. I like the GameCube controller better because it's really nicely placed for games like Metroid Prime, where A is the shoot button. The D-pads on these controllers are both nice. However, it is nicer on the Wii U. It's bigger, and it's just a little bit better to use. The triggers on the back, they're both very unique triggers. The GameCube controller is sort of like an Xbox 360 controller trigger, or I mean the Wii U Pro controller. It's like an Xbox 360 controller trigger, except they cut all of it off, and all that's left with is this. It is a lot better for first-person shooters, like I said earlier, but the GameCube controller triggers are very nice, and my fingers fit in them very well. The bumpers on the Wii U Pro controller are a lot better. They just feel a lot better, and they're a lot more responsive and everything. When on the GameCube controller, it's really just poorly designed. Comment down below which controller you like better and which one you prefer. I really can't decide because these are my two favorite controllers of all time, and they're both really, really nice. I'm kind of leaning towards the Wii U Pro controller because it is wireless and rechargeable, but Nintendo did have a lot more time to really learn from the mistakes of the GameCube controller and make this controller better. However, it's not better in every way. such as the button layout, which I think they should have kept for this controller. Subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from me. Like this video if you enjoyed it. I am the one and only Eagle Double T signing off. Goodbye.